Welcome to Space Cave. Today I have two questions for you. One, what is your zodiac sign? And two, what pisses you off the most? I'm an Aquarius and that's my sun sign, but we also all have a whole natal chart. You can search it down below. I'll leave a link in the description, and you have to put your date of birth as well as the time, the place, and the year, all that fun stuff, and you will see what is your natal chart. And it has a lot of different zodiac signs. It has a lot of different degrees and houses and planets. Basically, it's confusing. It's very confusing, I know. You don't need to deal with all of that today. Today we're just going to look at the sun sign, which we all know and love, and what pisses you off the most. Every element has their downfalls. I will link the element video that I did in the past with all the elements and their personality traits if you want to check it out. Sorry if I talk weird. I'm a little bit sick, so I'm not pronouncing everything correctly. I'm so sorry. I'm fine, guys. I'm just thirsty. I'm gonna get some water and I'm gonna go pee. Fire signs characterize themselves by being very open and being very welcoming to other people. They are easy to get along with, usually the easiest sign to get along with, but they need their space. The best way to annoy a fire sign is to tell them what to do and to restrict them in their actions and tell them where to go and just monitor all of their moves. They will definitely not be okay with that. Aries is the sign of being direct. It's a cardinal sign, it's a fire sign, and it's ruled by Mars. So it is really a sign that doesn't like to have anybody tell them something that is a misunderstanding and can be misconstrued. They just want to get directly to the point. So one good way to piss them off is to not tell them how you truly feel and not be direct with your true intentions. Another way to upset an Aries is to overplan everything and to not leave any room for unpredictable changes. So with fire signs, they need a lot of space to roam around. They need to be able to do what they have to do, but they don't like to be very much restricted and told where to stop and how to not act. So if you actually dominate them and boss them around, that's a sure way to upset an Aries. Also, if you talk about yourself a lot and not give them a lot of validation and tell them that they're doing a great job and make them feel like they are, doing well in the conversation that you're having, then they're likely to get really upset. Aries needs a lot of space to calm down if they're upset. So once they are upset, if you try to push them into a conversation or tell them how to feel at the moment, then that would be definitely very annoying to an Aries. Leo is a sign that feels easily betrayed and they are quite jealous. So a way that would make them really upset is if you have a lot of friends out of your circle of friendship and you don't tell them about it, and you just have all these fun parties without telling them, without including them. Another way to piss them off is to not praise them and to not acknowledge their accomplishments that they're proud of, because they tend to be quite proud of certain things in their life. So if you don't appreciate that about them, they will take a lot of offense to it. They want to be a center of attention. So if you don't laugh at their jokes and you just ignore them and act like it's not interesting what they have to say, that would really upset a Leo. A Leo is very loyal to their circle of friends, so if you don't include them in your own environment, when they include you in their environment, they will feel vulnerable, like they share too much of their life while you are not sharing yours. A fire sign needs a lot of space to roam, and they have to have a lot of their freedom, so they need to be heard, they need to say what they have to say. And if you restrict their own point of views and their own ability to go around and explore, then it would upset them quite a bit. Sagittarius is a zodiac that is very positive and upbeat. They have a lot of circles of friends and they're liked by many people. So a way to piss them off is to restrain them and not let them have all these circles of friends, and tell them that it's not okay, and to restrict their time and their freedom. They will really dislike that. They also don't like when people tell them what to do, and just generally the way fires don't like when you restrict their space. Sagittarius are so open-minded and positive, so if you are really negative about life and you just hate life and say how much everything is horrible and complain about everything in your life, they will be upset about that. They don't like when people are really strict in their way of thinking and don't appreciate the smaller things. They just talk about how they have to work and make money and they don't have enough of what they need, because they are dreamers and they are very adventurous, so you cannot take that away from them. Sagittarius generally is a sign that doesn't like any type of organized activity, so religion, cults, very intense values. If you put your values on them, they will surely not appreciate it. They like to stay open-minded to everything in life. They don't like to have a very rigid opinion because they want to be flexible in their beliefs. They're a mutable sign that wants to always feel how they are comfortable to feel and not be dominated and told what is the right way of being. Water signs are quite deep, just like the ocean. They like to be close and they like to have safety. If you think about it, you know, water actually needs a container in order to have a shape, and it cannot just be loosely on its own without any earth or gravity bounding it. So it needs something to hold it. And if they are unstable and they feel distant from a person, that is the best way to piss them off. Cancer is a water sign, so like all water signs, it is quite deep and emotional. Cancer needs stability as well, and they need also a comfortable place to fall back. Something that would really piss them off is if you are acting in ways that are not giving them the sense of comfort that they need. They like to have their emotions heard, so if you disregard their emotions and make them feel like how they feel is not important, you belittle them and make them feel small, then that would be definitely a great way to piss them off. Also, water signs, just like Cancer, don't like it when people act very impersonal and they act distant and kind of like not hot, not cold. They just distant from them. They feel like something is wrong, so you need to really be careful with that. Cancers really care and they try their best to make you feel better in your day. They're usually always there for you. Like, they'll make you tea if you're not happy, they'll get you something if you need it, you know. They want you to feel good and they want you to feel happy around them. So if you act ungrateful towards those things that they do, it would really upset them. Scorpios are quite secretive. They don't like when all their business is exposed to everyone else. So the best way to piss them off would be to just ask them very personal things about their life, about their past, about their relationships, and air it out to everyone else. So if you are in public with them, just talk out loud about personal things and share things with others to make them extremely uncomfortable. Judge them on their actions and make them feel like you this perfect little person who doesn't make any mistakes at all and has no flaws. You sure will make a Scorpio enemy from that point on. Scorpio is a fixed sign, so they have quite strong views about things and they have strong values. So if you make them feel like those values are insignificant and you don't talk to them about anything that interests them at all, in fact, you just talk to them about the weather and really superficial things like everyday work, then they will not like you and you will piss them off with mundane everyday life. Pisces is another water sign that does not like when people are distant. The reason why Pisces doesn't like that is because they're very intuitive. They feel very strongly what other people do and how other people feel, and if you lie to them, they will know it deep down. Even if they do not fully acknowledge it, they will recognize that you're lying to them and they will not be as close to you. They will definitely distance themselves from you. It's hard to piss off a Pisces because they are a mutable sign and a water sign, so they're very flexible with their personality. It's almost like they don't even know what their personality is. They have two sides to them. But Pisces, because they're so intuitive, they're also very empathetic. So they want to give to others, they want to be kind to others, and if you are unkind to other people who are less fortunate than you or they are less strong, like children or animals, then they will really not like that. They don't like violence, they don't like people who are harsh and who act too strongly on their beliefs, and they don't like to be imposed other people's beliefs on themselves either because they are so flexible in their nature. Pisces recognize that life is nothing but a big rat race, and if you are one of these people who really wants to climb the corporal ladder and that cares about that type of stuff, it would piss them off. They like to be very dreamy and open-minded and think about how things could be idealistic, so telling them that that cannot be would definitely upset them. Earth signs don't like unpredictable change. There are generally signs that like stability, and they also don't like when people mess with resources. Earth signs tend to be quite patient because they do not express what is actually on their mind. So they feel a certain way, but they will not say how they feel because they don't want to offend you and they know how it feels and they are polite. So they tend to withhold their needs quite a lot, and that is unfortunate for them. They don't have to do that, but Taurus is actually quite hard to piss off. They are a fixed sign. They know what they like. They don't want to move from it. They're very patient with other people, but once they are onto something, they will not let it go, and there's not much you can do to change their mind. But what's nice about them is that they are patient. So what would piss them off? Well, if you are really frivolous with material goods, so you throw away food, you're not economical, you don't think about what's the best thing to do in terms of money and how to save up here and there, then they're most likely gonna get really annoyed by that. If you don't respect their food, you eat their food. I know it sounds really cliche, but Taurus is the sign, it's the archetype of loving food and loving resources and loving beautiful things, and it's also part of food, so you have to really embrace that. So don't mess with their food, guys. If you make a lot of last minute change, Taurus will not enjoy that at all. They like to go with a plan. If you are late and you don't respect their time frame, they're going to most likely get very annoyed. Virgo is another earth sign that does not like unpredictability. if you mess with their plans, if you are late, if you do things that get in the way of their schedule and their everyday routine, they will be very unhappy if you show up to their place unannounced. However, Virgos are, again, very patient. Earth signs tend to be quite patient because they do not express what is actually on their mind. So they feel a certain way, but they will not say how they feel because they don't want to offend you and they know how it feels and they are polite. So they tend to withhold their needs quite a lot, and that is unfortunate for them. They don't have to do that, but every element has their downfalls. Another thing that would really piss off a Virgo is if you are being very unhygienic and you don't brush your teeth, you don't take a shower, you smell bad, you know, like you have stains in your clothes. They will not appreciate that at all. They won't like also if you humiliate them in public or if you bring a lot of negative attention to them in public, because they are quite private and they just don't like to be shown in a negative light. So don't put them on the spot, don't make any unusual plans that will shift through their schedule that they're used to, or that will just, you know, set them back in their goals. You have to discuss things with them in an open manner, and you have to make sure that they're comfortable before you make any brisk moves. Capricorn is another earth sign that doesn't like to be moved from its usual stable self, and that manifests itself in the hard work that they put in everything that they do. So that's one thing about Capricorns. They are hard workers, they take a lot of pride in their work, and if you make them feel like they are criticized in their work and you tell them what to do with their job and their responsibilities, they will take that to heart. If you are not responsible, Capricorns will also not appreciate that at all, because they take pride in being responsible as well. They take pride in doing the right thing. They don't want to drive negative attention to them. Earth signs like stability. They like to be grounded. They like things that are quite predictable and safe in their environment. They like to follow a plan. They like things to be just what they wanted them to be in their day. If they plan a day and it goes the way that they planned, that is the best day that they can have. So what does it mean? It means that the way to piss them off is to actually be unpredictable. Air signs are all about communication, and they really value being able to be heard, being able to say what they have to say, and everybody knowing their opinion and their point of view. They accept that everyone has a different point of view, but they also really value being heard themselves. So the best way to piss off an air sign is to deny them of being heard and not let them tell how they actually feel and tell them that their opinion is not good. Gemini is a zodiac that's very young at heart, and they like to have conversations, they like to joke around. If you shut them down and don't let them express their opinions and tell their jokes and be their youthful self, then they will definitely not like that. If you just take all the time to talk about yourself and don't let them speak their mind, then they will be quite resentful of you. Gemini like to dramatize the events that happen in their life because they like to be good conversationalists and be very interesting. So if you put them on the spot and tell them that they're being dramatic and that they exaggerate, then they surely will not like that. They don't like people who follow the rules, who are too rigid. They also don't like when people don't let them have their freedom and their flexibility. So if you put rules on them, they will surely not like that either. So let them talk, let them say what they have to say, and let them make their jokes, and then they'll be happy. Aquarius is a sign that is very much into itself. It likes to have very strong opinions, it's a fixed sign, and it likes to communicate those opinions to the world. So it is seen often as a very distant sign. So if you don't give them the space to express themselves and their opinions, then definitely it would upset them. They want to say what they have to say, and they believe that everyone has their own opinion and they are entitled to theirs. So that's why they do not take it kindly when you tell them how they should feel. If you badmouth their beliefs or other people's beliefs and you don't stay open-minded, then that would upset them a lot. Aquarius would also get really uncomfortable if you call them a lot and ask them where they are, if they're going somewhere, and who they're with and what they're doing, because they're the sign of trust and they want to feel like they're trusted by the people that they love. And if they're not, it would drive them absolutely mad. So air sign is the sign that likes to communicate. Aquarius loves to be heard, but they also really like when people trust them without them saying much at all. Air signs are all about communication. They're all about going back and forth with their ideas. This is something they really enjoy. A really good way to annoy them would be not to say what you have in your mind and to hide things from them. So dishonesty is something that would bother them, and if they feel like you are being dishonest with them, they will stay away from you at all costs. Also, Libra likes to have a balanced and harmonious environment around them. So they don't like people who are really rude and brash and not well-mannered. Manners is a big one for Libras, for sure. Agreements are really important to them. If you give them your word, it's very important to them. So if you are late, that would piss them off. Somebody who's very flaky and who doesn't actually do as they say. Be rude to the waiters, interrupt them while they talk, show up late, don't show up at all, change your mind all the time and be very unpredictable. That would piss off a Libra big time. Image is something that's very important to a Libra, so another way to piss them off would be to talk about them to their coworkers in a bad way, or present yourself to their family, to their coworkers, to their classmates, to everyone around them in a very negative way. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it if you comment below and tell me what's your sign and did you relate to this? How do you feel? If you have other thoughts on the topic, I would love to hear it, so please leave them below. And follow me on social media so you can see behind the scenes just like this one over here, and we can share our thoughts and point of views, and I will see you in the next video.